to be with you today and for you to hear the stories of so many of our working dog heroes and the handlers that are beside them, as well as the contract working dogs. In November of 2011, I welcomed a dog into my family that changed my life and inspired me to be a voice for our nation's working dog heroes. That dog is by my side today, and although I was not his handler, I am truly honored to be his forever handler and mom. Carlos is an explosive detection dog that was retired after protecting U.S. and coalition forces in continuous deployment for nearly 5 years in Iraq and Afghanistan. In Baghdad, Carlos did checkpoint work into the Green Zone and worked with the U.S. Army's 3rd and 4th Infantry Divisions on missions surrounding the Green Zone. He was transferred to Qatar to work in direct support of U.S. Special Forces, providing safe routes for our troops, and was credited with actual finds on missions that saved countless American soldier lives. As he aged, he was then transferred to work with NATO forces. Sadly, upon retirement, it seems Carlos was the victim of neglect. He still carries the ligature scar marks today on his back legs from Hobble-style restraints. That's not the way to treat a hero. Fortunately, Carlos was reclaimed and waited in the kennels in Kabul, Afghanistan, until my husband's and my adoption allowed him to take his freedom flight home. Because of a deployed service member's love of our working dogs, Carlos is here today. I will forever be grateful to that United States Air Force captain for saving Carlos's life, as 4 days after he arrived, he underwent surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. And within the next 5 months, he survived a spleen removal and laryngeal paralysis surgeries. Carlos's medical issues are ongoing. He has cardiomyopathy, and vestibular disease, as well as colitis. And as all of these dogs you've seen today, and those that are still serving, and those that have been retired before, these dogs have warriors' hearts. They have a zest for life that has helped them survive and their handlers survive. And Carlos continues to survive. And let me tell you one thing. Carlos's medical bill since his retirement has cost $10,000, and it's not over. But you know what? He's worth every penny, every dollar. Those credit cards have to come in handy sometimes because he was not afforded any medical coverage. There's no medical insurance. But Carlos continues to be a warrior. He continues to joyfully serve as a goodwill ambassador to bring awareness to the contributions of all our working dog heroes. MWDs and CWDs bring life-saving capabilities to the fight against terrorism. A dog's ability to sniff out explosive supersedes even the most advanced technology we have today. What are MWDs and CWDs? A MWD is a military working dog that is owned by the Department of Defense and is assigned to serve in a military branch. A CWD is a contract working dog that is owned by private companies and is contracted by the DoD that work in the same areas of operation, performing the same jobs as our MWDs. Although MWDs are not transported back to the U.S. when retired at a permanent base overseas, they are not left in war zones, as they were during the Vietnam era. Our retired MWDs are cared for by the military until adopted, and then all medical care stops. Former handlers or civilians adopting these retired MWDs assume all the financial responsibility to transport the dog home and for their medical expenses. But ask any one of these gentlemen today, they will gladly do what has to be done to bring that dog home and to provide them with the medical care they have earned and deserved. But thankfully, there are organizations like the American Humane Association, Mission Canine Rescue, with the United States War Dog Association, that is there for the handlers and the dogs. Unfortunately, CWDs are not afforded the same protections when retired as our MWDs. Some contractors bring retired dogs back to the U.S. when they are retired. Others do not. Depending on the contract company, they could be sold, they could be adopted out to locals, or worse. Medical care may not be provided once the dog is retired. So these dogs could be spending excessive time over there, languishing in kennels, and receiving no medical care because the contract with the Department of Defense has ended for that dog when it is retired. It is estimated that a war dog saves an average of 150 to 200 lives, but that number goes up drastically when a large cache of weapons or an explosive device is found. Because of their selfless devotion, many husbands, wives, sons, and daughters are able to return home to their families. At the end of a long day, they are there to provide comfort and even a few laughs. I was told that, and I quote, "Carlos was a loyal friend and always made them laugh, which was important in that environment." And you've heard that today from these gentlemen with their dogs. Even after the troops return home, something special exists between them and the dogs they served with. About a year ago, Carlos and I were at an event. A young man came up and asked what Carlos did in Iraq. When I told him, he said, "I knew he looked familiar." Then knelt down, wrapped his arms around Carlos's neck and said, "Thank you for protecting me and my buddies." He then started whispering in Carlos's ear. I don't know what was said, but when the young soldier stood, his eyes were teary, and Carlos stood there solemnly looking at him. The dogs share a bond with every service member they are with. These noble warriors work tirelessly in scorching heat, freezing cold, blinding sand, and torrential rain without complaint. They sustain injuries and risk their own lives protecting the lives of our troops, yet they ask for nothing in return. During battles, they stay by the side of their handler and are ever watchful for other dangers. Their loyalty is unmatched. Some of the dogs have used their own bodies to shield their handler, and others have lost their lives in the line of duty as well. MWDs and CWDs give the best years of their lives valiantly protecting our freedoms and our loved ones. They have earned and deserve to be brought back to live out their lives as loved and respected family members. We owe it to them for the lives they saved, their loyalty, unconditional love, and sacrifice. Our troops live by the creed, leave no one behind. I believe it is our obligation to leave no dog behind.